So tell the people what you're doing exactly. Yes, you're on. You're live, sir.
What do you want me to tell them? Except that I'm pulling the brakes apart.
Well,
Fairly straightforward.
well,
Well,
what is coming off? What is going on, sir?
well, as stated previously, it's Cobra brakes are going in the front. I've already done GT brakes in the rear. Don't criticize me yet. I've done GT brakes because, quite frankly, I can't afford the brackets that hold the Cobra calipers and rotors that bolt to the diff. They're like $200 and something, so I'd go with GT brakes for now.
Yeah, or it may look like we do spend money, but
It's like over the course of
years. Yeah, this has all been saved for years, for this car and that car. This is not like we just bought the cars a year ago.
A little bit at a time.
Yeah. So we've already done a lot, as you can see, is all of his suspension with the bump steer and all that. It's just that
Get a clearer picture here in a minute.
Yeah, we just haven't done a video yet. Why? I don't know.
Yes, you do. Don't have time. We work. We take care of family. We strip bolts. And I need like a 3/8. I don't have a 3/8. You know what I do? And what you call it? Yeah, 3/8. Yeah, despite what you guys may think, these things still take SAE sockets. So I take out my trusty crow's foot. It might look a little funny spinning, but at least or just strip it. I mean,
Why don't I just go get the socket?
I don't have any standard. Oh wait, I do. Shit.
Where?
It's that long rack in the drawer of
These are the things that you need to know.
because this is gonna have to come off to get. This bolt right here. You know what it is, man? I think Ford Loctites this shit.
I would believe you are punctilious in assuming this.
What's that?
I believe you would be punctilious in assuming this.
You and kids in your new language.
Not really a kid. I'm only a couple years younger than you.
I've done one of these before, and I remember that on the strut, the what you call it here, the spindle on a SN95 is actually quite a bit thinner than. You go get me a wrench.
What size?
I think it's like a 22. Drive 24.
Let's see here. Where, oh where? Keep those goddamn wrenches. That compressor is so unbelievably loud. I mean, nonsense, is what it is. Where's your 24 wrench going to be?
I said a 21. Could be a 21. Yeah.
21, he says. I'll take that socket off. And what was the bump steer kit you got? Is that a Steeda one?
That's Steeda, yeah. This is more like a build my car with my wife's Christmas bonus.
Get in where you fit in.
Somewhat. Is buy this part and then wait a year and buy another part.
Well,
I may be a school teacher of sorts, but I really don't make a lot of money.
there it goes.
Okay. So what I need now is a floor jack. Take some pressure off these bolts so I can just pop them right off there. Like that. Pick that hose up so we don't run that bitch over. Careful. She's fragile. Come out here to the, I always grab it at the ball joint pivot point because that's where you get the most pressure and the easiest movement. Okay. Go a little bit more. Oh, maybe too far. Come down some. Okay. I just gotta this fucker off there. And
Are we going to need shims for the strut?
well, that's the thing about that is, I believe so. Now on the Conies, they put the shims there already, but I think it was to shim for this.
For the
Go
factory.
grab, go grab one of those 5-lug spindles. Maybe we can do a comparison right now.
Grab the spindle. There's the
Let's just
spindle.
see. So what you're paying attention to is that right there.
And it's actually the same thickness.
So I think what I did is back in the past when I did this, the 5-lug spindles that I use, you want to use 94 to 95 GT spindles because, or V6, it doesn't matter, because the suspension geometry stays right as far as your toe and your camera or camber angles and stuff like that. I think probably what I used back in the past was like a 96, 97, or 98. And it was actually, this was actually way thinner. So when I went to put it all together and I put it inside my strut, it actually had to take this part of my strut and crush it down to meet the spindle. Of course, I was a lot younger back then and didn't care as long as it went together and I could drive the thing. So nowadays I do a lot more research since I started doing technician for a living. I started doing a lot more research into things and, you know, seeing, well, what exactly works and what exactly doesn't. You know, back in the day it was, just get spindles off of a 5-lug Mustang. Well, I didn't know about the suspension geometry and all that jazz as to how all of that works. So once I started doing this for a living and learning more and more about working on cars for a living, it all started to make sense as far as like, oh, that's why they do that. Oh, that's why they do that. So that is why now I've figured out that 94 to 95 GTs, not just because of the fact that it was so close to the years that they changed over to from a Fox, but they really didn't change much as far as suspension geometry goes. They kind of kept it the same, just changed it to 5-lug. And the removable rotors and stuff, you know, the slip-on rotors. So as time went on, they started saying, oh, well, this is a little bit better, so we'll tweak this and we'll tweak that. And that's why parts change, and that's why things aren't exactly the same. So, you know, like we found out with the axles on a New Edge, you know, 99 to 04, New Edge axles are longer than they are on a 94 to 98. And then we found out even further that obviously 94 to 98 or 94 to 04, the axles were a lot longer than a Fox. So, you know, so taking your Fox length axles and putting them on with a 94 and up rear brake conversion, rear 5-lug disc conversion, ain't gonna work because the axles aren't long enough. So when you put the axles in and everything, the rotors contact the
Backing plate.
the backing plates and the things. So you got to get different axles. So, and that's why, like on mine, you know, I didn't want it to look that way, but it is, and the wheels kind of stick out of the wheel well a little bit, and that's because, you know, track width on a 94 and up is different, and as time went on, the track width kept changing. So that's why you have to do your research first and foremost. Now, if you got money and you don't want to do your research, you just take it to somebody and you drop it off and go, here, call me when it's done.
Yeah, kind of like you can bring it to us. See, now I'm going to show you exactly what it is he's talking about, because these are the 28 spline axles that I took out of my coupe because I did the 31 spline hardened axle conversion with the limited slip diff. Now what I did is I put next to it a factory axle, and as you can see, the factory axle out of the 04 that we had got at the local U-Pole yard is significantly longer. So when we tried to use this axle right here for his 5-lug conversion in the rear on this, it did not work. As he said, the rotor was actually touching the backing plate because it is that much shorter. So when we put in those axles, it brought the tire and wheel out and brakes and everything that much to compensate, so that way they don't touch. Now that is what he is referring to there on the axle length difference.
Yeah, just don't forget you're showing them the 99 to 04 axle.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Yeah, so that's
It's a
even
completely
longer
different
than the 94 to
animal.
98 axles. We found that out after we started comparing lengths, and I thought, oh my god, my tires are really going to stick out of the wheel well if I use these. So that's why I skipped it and just went with those 94 to 8 axles I already had. Now I'm not going to say that they don't make 94 to 98 or Fox length axles for 94 and up rear brakes. I'm not going to say they don't. I just don't have the money to buy them. I know I don't, so I just used what I had. You can still use what you had. They're still going to ride on the spots where the bearings need to ride and the reseals need to ride, so you don't need to worry about that. But, you know, once you start getting long like the 99 to 04 axles, then you might have to have the 8.8 diff that is for a 99 to 04 car. The problem is on a Fox body, they're going to stick out of the wheel well, and if you're one of those that doesn't like that goofy look, probably shouldn't do it that way.
Yeah, probably don't want to go that route.
But those of you that are, you know, what I like to call hot rodders, which is what we are, we like to use what we can, okay? Like, I can't buy a Contour dual electric fan, so I went to the local pick and pull, picked that thing up for $30, and it works great. So, and that's going to replace the Taurus fan in here, because I can't put that supercharger kit on there with the Taurus fan, because the supercharger pulley is going to hit the fan. So, yet again, it's another learning curve as far as these kinds of modifications go. When people were doing this back in the day, we didn't have the money to do it, so we never did it. And now we have money. So,
And off comes the old spindle. Which, by the way, we're going to be putting this whole kit together of his brakes. Front and rear, if anyone's doing a factory 5 conversion or something like that, we will have them available for purchase. You just have to let us know in the comment section down below if you would be interested or know anybody that would be interested. We have quite a few parts left over from both builds. Most of them honestly are going to be going on another 88 GT that we have that was essentially being parted out and sent to the local scrapyard, and the frame and everything else on it was straight, so we decided to save that vehicle. We're still in the process of trying to still in the process of trying to get a title for it, which is a lot more difficult than you would think when you didn't previously own the vehicle. So as soon as we get title for that vehicle, my old engine, which is here in that bag, just a regular factory 302 with E7 heads, we're gonna just do a carburetor on that because that's what the owner did on the previous vehicle, the 88. We're just gonna throw a carburetor on it, freshen that engine up, and put that in there with some of the leftover parts we had from my car, like the mufflers that are on top, the tailpipes down below, probably the axles since we have them. As far as that car goes, that's a little ways down the road, but we will be making videos of that as well to show progress on that. Next time we're up at the place where it's being stored, I will make a video of that so you can see condition of that vehicle at start, and then you will see it once we are done as well. So
what were we going to do with that car?
I think it's just going to be a track car, because it's
What
already
kind of
got
track?
I don't know, we should set it up to be both. We can use it, you know, soften the suspension for drag race and tighten it up for road course.
That would have to be adjustable then.
It's already got that.
But even then, springs
8-point
and everything
cage.
change too.
Oh yeah.
I think we should make it a road race car strictly. Make it a road race car, take that bitch up to Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It's already got a previous owners installed a chromoly 8-point roll cage in it, so that's already taken care of. As far as everything else, well, not so much. It's got a sump tank and 4 flat tires.
4 flat tires and no springs.
And that's about, no springs, and that's about all you can say about that.
But it is a complete GT body-wise.
Yeah, headlights and taillights, it is there. Well, the lenses for the taillights aren't there, but
right,
the housing
but still,
are.
the whole car is pretty well complete, and it's got some interior in it and stuff. I mean, it's a good starting point for a build. So, that's just me, though. That's what I think. Here's what I think.
And it does have that wicked cowl grill. Do you remember?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Those old cowl grills that had the W
vents.
looking vent scoops.
Yeah. So that is currently for sale if anyone is interested.
I wanted one of those when I was younger.
I will gladly pay shipping for you to get it out of our lives. If you would want to purchase it. I doubt it, though. They're pretty hideous.
Everybody likes looks at certain things. So, to each their own.
Well, in my opinion, it looks like a wiped anus. And a not good wiped one either.
Set that over there somewhere. I just put it together so it's together. It's heavy.
We move this damn thing over here.
You know those isolators? Now? I kind of do. I'm already there. And we have that tool.
Is there a specific vegetable you guys would like?
Pause it and then...
Oh, no, there's no pause. This is all rolling, sir.
Oh.
Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel. Hi.
Okay.
What?
You created a YouTube channel?
Yes, I did.
For
And you're currently on it right now.
foxes?
Yes.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Anyways, what?
What would you like for a vegetable? Does it matter?
Nope. I think we should use that tool. I don't know if many people know that tool exists.
Well, where's the tool at? Mm-hmm.
It's probably up there with all my 5-lug stuff that I...
Well, let's see. Injectors.
That's all stuff out of my cart. There's no box up here. There's a box. That had some 5-lug stuff in
No,
it.
that's not it either.
It's not in there?
No. Could it be in one of these boxes in my trunk? As you can see, I told you we got a shit ton of shit. Put it in there. No.
How long has that thing been going?
It is now 24 minutes, sir.
Okay. I just don't want to bore them with, oh, let's look for this and look for that.
Oh, it's too late. All they're gonna do is just fast forward anyway.
There's those spacers.
Oh, nope, there's the old shift boot and whatnot. The actual distributor spark plug wire cover. Found one of those at the junkyard too. Decided we were going to go ahead and save it. I wonder if it's that box right there. We do use late model restoration quite a bit.
Remember that box that the t-shirt came in?
Yeah, it was a small little box.
Yeah, but it wasn't in that box, I don't think. I think I took it out. and probably put it in your with your stuff. Oh, shut up.
Well, the only other box it could be is with this old ass Pioneer or Blaupunkt or whatever the fuck, whatever that was. Well, I think that's just the old headlights out of my car. No, jack, the quick lift supports. I don't know what he did with it. It's actually a neat little tool. Yeah, I don't know what you did with that thing.
It's around here somewhere. That's why we need to get a lot of this stuff out of here. So we can find it.
Oh, my dash cam. My niece charged it for me. Hey, dude, I have no idea what
I'm gonna put it on the washing machine.
what you did with it. I'm lost. I don't know. Did you look in?
Might wanna.
Oh, these people are fast forwarding, so I can just make up a song and sing it because they're not watching anyway. Nope, shifters and whatnot. Like I said, we got a lot of parts. I've now spent 4 minutes looking for this damn thing. In this oil pan? I don't think so. And no. Just a pickup tube. Well, I found the isolators.
Those are mine.
Yes.
Isolators.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. No clue.
You might want to stop the video for now.
Well, whenever we decide to get our shit together, I'll make another video and finish this. So, in the meantime, like, subscribe, Chasing Foxes. See you later.